roads for you where we're seeing this rotation right now. What we're looking at would be right about here. So Pine Road over Oscar heading to Echo, Katanning Avenue, just probably a few miles out to the north and east of that. This is heading your way, and these storms are moving at 60 miles an hour, so that's rather quick. So now's the time to get into that most interior room of a home, away from doors and windows. If you're in a basement, if you have one, that's fantastic. If not, what we want you to do is just try to get as many doors in between you and the outdoors as possible. That's what we always try to say. If you have time, maybe grab the pets if they're outside, text a friend if they live in these parts and maybe they're not tuning in as of right now. But our protocol is that we stay on air until there's no longer a tornado warning for our viewers. So if I'm cutting into your regular programming, maybe you don't live in Armstrong County, I do apologize, but this is still important to our viewers who do. So back to radar, outside of that reflectivity that we're seeing right now, the Doppler winds, what we're looking at as a rotation spot is right about here. So if you live on Pine Road, if you're in Echo, this is pretty much going to pass right overhead. We still haven't seen any National Weather Service chats, people on the ground who have seen anything quite yet. I am here by myself, so I'll be doing a little bit of running back and forth. But of course, as soon as I find something out, I will let you know. So this tornado warning will go for about another 10 minutes or so. And this is the area of rotation we'll be watching. So should we continue to see this kind of patch of red and green continue to hop east and east and east, this could very well be extended. So, of course, just stay tuned. If you're just tuning in with us and you live in Armstrong County, for about the next 10 minutes or so, you'll be under a tornado warning. So it's very important to have your action plan in place as far as if you live outside of this red box that you're seeing. It's still important because some strong thunderstorms are headed your way until about noontime. We have still radar indicated as far as that tornadic activity goes, so no eyes have physically spotted that quite yet. Outside of that, still 60-mile-an-hour winds. Sometimes straight line winds with these storms can do just as much damage as tornadic winds. Big trees can come down, unsecured patio furniture, now that the weather's nice, can certainly be blown out of place as well. I'm going to look for a little bit of hail, seeing if we are seeing any hail returns. I'm not seeing much, but we do even have lightning. Not a whole lot, looks like just a few strikes. I think our biggest threat here would be winds and the potential for some tornadic activity. So the tornado warning continues to get cut from west to east. So if you are in Pine Furnace, Greendale, you're okay to come out of your safe place. Maybe wait to go outside. We're still picking up on some heavy rain on radar as of right now. But if you're in Oscar, Echo, Bryan, Muff, even Phoenix, you're outside of it, but this could very well be headed your way. Maybe not in tornado warning form, but still some strong rounds of rain, possibly some hail, and some gusty winds. That is guaranteed. If you live west of here, not a whole lot of action going on. So this is really the only little squall line we're kind of tracking as of right now, and it is moving east at 60. So to get some timing on that for you, 60 miles an hour. Go a little bit closer here to get some more cities up. This will give you an indication of, there you go, there's our latest 5-minute sweep. So it's pretty much right over Echo, Muff, Belknap, if I'm mispronouncing your city, I do apologize. Bryan as well, and Bernards, it's heading towards you too. Trying to get some street names up here too. It looks like that it could be right over Katanning Avenue, Evergreen Road, Country Road, if you're from these parts and you recognize those names. Yep, there's that rotation right here that we will be watching for. So the time now is 11:53, and should this warning not be extended, that red line right there, that would put everyone else eastbound in the safe place, not having to get into your basements, but still a very strong line of storms is heading towards you with 60-mile-an-hour winds, moving at 60 miles an hour. That's a pretty strong thunderstorm. So most of this activity is going to stay east of the city. Both of these warnings, yellow severe thunderstorm, red will be that tornado warning, should expire at noon should we not really see anything strengthen anymore. But this rotation is been pretty consistent. A little bit of red, a little bit of green means we have a little bit of that couplet on radar, so likely that rotation would be just north, if not riding, along Katanning Road. And this is in Armstrong County right now. Pretty small tornado warning, but that's very typical as well. If you're back in Slabtown, even Oscar, you should be okay. Stay inside, but I think you're okay to come out of your basement at this time as the rotation is continuing to push to the east pretty fast. And we get these updates about every 5 minutes or so. So talk about it for 5 minutes, get that update, and that's what gives us that good indication. Will we see this be extended, or does it look like it's maybe going to expire a little bit early? So I'm going to go back, check in with the National Weather Service chat, see if we have some new updates going on. But as of right now, if you live in Armstrong County, I would say just keep us on at least until noon to see what happens here. Clear out the rotation. So this is a live look at what we got going on. Severe thunderstorm warning in that yellow box, and that stretches all the way down into parts of, I believe, Westmoreland counties, at least the very tip. And most of it's over Armstrong as of right now, and that line of storms right about just west of Punxsutawney, Indiana, Homer City, Blairsville, even Ligonier having some heavy rounds of rain as well. This will continue to push to the east. There you go. That tornado warning has been extended. And that goes up to the north and east, but for now, we're going to stay on it until about noon for parts of Armstrong County. So pick out your city up here. If you're from these parts and you're very familiar with the roadways, you probably know right about where this is. I'm going to check in to when this next tornado warning will be until extended for Armstrong, Indiana, Jefferson, till about 12:15. So that would be a 12-minute extension. This is a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It was located 7 miles southeast of New Bethlehem, or about 14 miles east of Katanning. And this is still moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. So pretty strong, pretty quick moving, which means it's going to pack a punch, and especially in a very short period of time. So again, sorry if breaking into your regular programming. Our protocol is we must stay on air until our viewers are safe. And that's what's most important to us. Really want to keep our viewers safe and prepared and get you out and ahead of those storms. So I'll do one more tracker. There you go, latest update. It's almost to the easternmost edge of Armstrong County, and that would be pushing into the northeast tip of Indiana County, some cities up in there, Smicksburg, Loop, some roadways for you, Bernard Road, North Point Road, heading towards southwestern Jefferson County. So as of right now, we have about 3 minutes left of the initial tornado warning. That will be this box right about here. This is that first warning, and this red one would be the extension, and that's what will go until about 12:15. So if you live in southwestern Jefferson County and especially northwestern Indiana County, these storms are moving at 60 miles an hour. Just about as fast as a car on a highway. So they're going to be there very soon, and when they do, they'll arrive rather quickly. You have strong winds, 60-mile-an-hour gusts outside of anything that could be tornadic level. You have some hail about penny size, or about 3/4 of an inch, headed into your neck of the woods for that potential there as well. So we want to get you warned. If you're out and ahead of these storms, talk about your safe place right now, your plan of action once you're under that next tornado warning, which is already underway. Not only that, the severe thunderstorm warning should be expired at about noon, now that I see they've extended that tornado warning to the north and east. I haven't seen much hail. We're getting that as radar indicated, but we're checking that swath as we speak. And I'm going to really quickly do one more check with that velocity to see what we have going on. So it looks to not be as impressive as it was before. What we tend to look at on our Doppler winds, you want a really tight couplet that kind of looks like this between that green and red. That gives us the best indication of where some really strong rotation would be within that storm. And we're still seeing the pixels here gonna pass right between Phoenix and McGregor, headed towards Porter. That looks like our area of rotation as of right now, and it's pretty much just getting out of that first tornado warning, which would expire here in about 2 minutes, but I think we're going to see it pop over just a little bit sooner. So Right here is the back edge of the first warning. That one expires at noon. And that next warning that heads up into parts of northwestern Indiana and Jefferson counties, that would expire in about 15 minutes, given the speed of these storms at about 60 miles an hour. So I'm going to check in with my chat really quick, and I'm going to toss over to Elena for a few updates for you at home.
Absolutely, Casey. Thank you so much. She's been doing a great job for us, keeping us posted on air about this tornado warning in some parts of our viewing area, as well as tweeting updates. So if you can, if you're in our area, either, as she's been saying, turn on your TV and turn the volume up as loud as you can so you can hear it from a safe place. Or if you have your phone on you, again, she's doing a great job simultaneously bringing us updates on air and online, tweeting those updates. And just a reminder about some tornado safety here. Go to a basement, safe room, interior room away from any windows. She was saying, you want to have as many doors in between you and the outer walls of your home and windows as possible. So if you are in this area, again, this is Armstrong and Clarion counties, you're going to want to go to that safe place at this point. If you are at work or school, go ahead and follow the tornado drill and proceed to your tornado shelter location. If you're outside, you need to seek shelter inside of a sturdy building immediately. And if you have pets outside, bring them inside safely and as quickly as possible. Now, the difference between a tornado watch versus a warning. A watch is issued for entire counties where tornadoes might occur. A warning, which we have right now, is issued when a tornado has been sighted or indicated by weather radar. So we are in a tornado warning. Again, this is Armstrong and Clarion counties. If you are in that viewing area, please seek your safe place immediately. You're going to want to, again, go to the lowest floor, choose an interior room and away from any windows, and avoid any large rooms as well. And with that, let's check back with Casey. She has another update for us.
Yeah, we did see the extension of the first tornado. It's all the same storm, but that first tornado warning, we see the extension. That will run for about another 15 minutes. And we just saw it cut back a little bit, so it's still in parts of Indiana County, also heading into Jefferson County as well. This will go until 12:15. The severe thunderstorm warning in that big yellow box, that would be until about 12:45. These storms are moving fast, so they'll pack a punch in a very short period of time, and more likely than not, they won't be overhead for too long either. What we're seeing here, outside of any spin with these storms, is 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's severe parameter. That could easily knock down tree limbs, branches, unsecured objects outside. We are seeing the radar indicated hail size of about penny. So that will go to about 3/4 inch, and also some downpours too. So certainly some impactful weather headed into your neck of the woods. Turn that off really quick. Getting rid of that. There's that tornado warning. This will be for Indiana County. I'll get some roads up there for you outside of some cities, Smicksburg, North Point, Loop. If you live in these areas, get in your safe place immediately. This is also why we say it's really important to know where you live in your county, so when we do have these tornado warnings, you know when you need to take place. And this is one of those afternoons. Most of this activity is not going to last long. It will just be until early afternoon, possibly just a couple more hours of maybe not severe, but at least strong thunderstorms. So keep that in mind for the rest of your Thursday. We get new updates about every 4 to 5 minutes, so we talk about the currents until we get those updates, and that's what gives us a really a good indication of what we do moving forward should these storms be strengthening or weakening. So what we're looking at here is the tornado warning for Indiana and also Jefferson County, even still for parts of Armstrong County as well too. So if you're still living in parts of McWilliams and eastbound, North Freedom, you live close to Dry Bridge Road, Salem Road, Pierce Road, there's still some really strong storms, strong to severe storms overhead as of right now too. Checking in with that rotation, it looks like it would be right over the Timblin area, McGregor. What we're looking at, there's that latest update. Actually not seeing a whole lot of rotation left, so that's a good sign. It does look like the storm is weakening in the rotation sense, which is a good thing, but it doesn't mean it still can't cause some damage, whether it's straight line winds or hail. But this is what I'm seeing as any pixelation right now, so that's very few and far between. If you were with us just a moment ago, you want to look for green and red pixels, kind of like a yin-yang symbol, interlocked. That's really strong rotation. That kind of gives us that pinpoint. That's where a tornado could be. But we're not really seeing a whole lot of that on the map right now. So this is right between Dora, and it looks like Ringgold, headed towards Cool Spring, Worthville, Green Valley, Oliveburg, Frostburg. But I really do see some weakening, at least rotation-wise, with some of these storms. So I'll go back and forth checking in with the National Weather Service chat, which issues these watches and warnings. The latest update just a few minutes ago, thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 8 miles east of New Bethlehem, 10 miles west of Punxsutawney, and these are still moving northeast at about 60 miles an hour. So these are moving pretty quickly. Also, picking up on some lightning too, which as we all know can do damage should it hit the right place at the right time. But at least in the rotation department, we're not seeing a whole lot going on anymore. So that's a really good sign. Maybe we'll check in and see if we're getting any hail returns at this time as well. Looks like not a whole lot. So at the very least, we have that. So if you're just tuning in with us, we do have about 10 more minutes or so of this tornado warning. It would expire at 12:15, which from what I'm seeing right now would be very feasible to happen. But at the very least, some heavy rain. Not seeing a whole lot of hail, but we are getting a little bit of radar indicated hail up to about penny size to put that into perspective for you. So if you live in Ringgold, Worthville, Cool Spring, and Frostburg, even areas north and east of that heading into Jefferson County, I would say now is your time to get an action plan in place should this storm not be expired before it does make it to you. It's really important, Elena touched on it a moment ago, the difference between a watch and warning. As we're approaching severe weather season, it's really important to know a watch, we have conditions favorable. We have the ingredients are there. A tornado warning is, it was radar indicated or someone is on the ground and spotted a tornado, and that's when you take action. The watch, you kind of want to be prepared. So I would say if you live east of the city, even heading into central Pennsylvania, which would be outside of our viewers, but if you still get our channel, I would say that's the afternoon you're looking at. Most of this activity would pretty much, this is the easternmost cusp of what we would cover, but we'll still stay on air until this tornado warning is out, which should be in just a few minutes from now. I'm just going to grab a quick drink of water, if I can toss to you for a quick update, Elena.
Absolutely, Casey. You've been doing a great job keeping us posted on everything we need to know about this passing tornado warning that's moving through our area. Again, Armstrong, as well as Clarion counties. If you live in those areas, please get to a safe place immediately. If you are at home, go into your a basement safe room or interior room that is away from windows. You want to be as close to the center of your home and away from any windows as possible. If you are at work or school and hearing about these warnings, be sure you follow any tornado drill that might be in place that you might have practiced and go ahead and proceed to your tornado shelter location. If you are outside, you need to get inside of a sturdy building immediately. If your pets are outside, please bring them in as quickly as possible, as safely as possible. And again, as Casey was just saying, this is not a tornado watch. A tornado watch is something that's issued for the entire county where tornadoes may occur. A warning, on the other hand, which is what we are experiencing right now, is issued when a tornado has been sighted or indicated by weather radar. So definitely you want to be safe in this situation since we are dealing with a warning in this case. Again, find that safe room, the lowest floor, an interior room away from any windows, and you want to avoid any large rooms as well. As of now, this is in effect till 12:15, so we're almost at that point. And Casey's going to bring us the latest information right now from the Weather Service. Casey.
Yeah, most of this activity is just about out of Armstrong and Indiana counties. That cuts back right about here and there. And once we get into Jefferson County, that's when we kind of stop our coverage and we leave it to central PA for that. But this technically still is in effect until about 12:15. But what I'm seeing is, just from looks alone, that the heaviest of the storm is out of Armstrong and mostly out of what's in the warning of Indiana County. So most of this activity now is in Jefferson County, but just to play it safe, I'll stay on for another few minutes before we change over to full news. But even outside of that, excuse me, we're still tracking some strong storms outside of what's warned at this time. South and basically directly south of the city for parts of Greene and Fayette County. Also eastern Westmoreland County, you are dealing with some heavy rounds of rain too, even outside of what is currently warned. So we'll do one more check at the velocity really quick and see where this rotation is. So this is kind of we check in with reflectivity. We'll look at the Doppler winds to see where any rotation is. And not only that, for people that are traveling today, this is heading into parts of Jefferson County, so close to some campgrounds. People are going out, getting an early start to the weekend. You do have some severe weather headed your way. So if you know someone who's heading that way, give them a call, shoot them a quick text, and just let them know that you do have some severe weather heading your way. Just want to check on this tornado warning, which is the first one, till about 12:15. This next one here, the extension into Jefferson, that will also go until about 12:15. So there's that latest update. Just going to step off one more time, get one more check with the National Weather Service and see what we have going on moving forward. But once we get to Jefferson County, that's when we will hop off. Outside of this, now some of these severe thunderstorm warnings are up to 70-mile-an-hour winds for Armstrong, Clarion, Indiana, and Jefferson counties till 12:45. So it doesn't need it to be a tornado warning to cause any damage. Strong winds, 60 to 70 miles an hour. Straight line winds, which are not associated with tornadic activity, can very well do just as much damage. So I want to make that clear that even if you're not in some of these tornado warnings, to still get indoors and get below ground or that lowest level of your home and just away from doors and windows, should you see any damage if you live in some of these parts. Zooming out for you, even bigger. Here's that line of storms that we're tracking, moving very quickly to the north and east. It's just about 12:15 in the next coming minutes, and that's when most of these storms would be out of our viewing area. But I would say if you do live in New Bethlehem, you're okay to get out of your safe spot. Smicksburg, you're still in the warning, but I think you're okay as well. Most of the activity is well into that second warned storm, and we will continue to keep you updated should we have any more storms, and we'll get over to news as we speak.
Yeah, Casey, thank you so much again. As posted on what is happening, and we will continue to keep you updated.